PCS Mudavadi to deliver his speech.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you. Please be seated. The Principal Secretary, State Department for TVET, Dr. Esther Moria, the TVET SADC Council Chairman, Professor Ahmed Faraj, TVET SADC Council members, the CEO, Professor Kisilu Kitiange, CEOs of other government agencies present, directors and other ministry officials, development partners present, and the various heads of institutions who are here. And also officials from the Kenya Association of Technical Training Institutions. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Habari yenu? Najua kuna baridi lakini tujihami sasa. It is my pleasure to join you today as we mark 3 significant milestones in our journey towards enhancing technical and vocational education and training in Kenya. Today we launch the TVET SADC Strategic Plan for 2023-2027 period, then release the March-April 2024 assessment results, and celebrate the outstanding achievements of the TVET SADC Governing Council over the past year. Ladies and gentlemen, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has contributed to remarkable progress of the TVET sector. The sector is an important cog in the overall government strategic direction of ensuring youth employment in and beyond the region. The skills and competencies acquired guarantee the competitiveness of our youth in a rapidly evolving global economy. Ladies and gentlemen, my office as the Prime Cabinet Secretary is in charge of ensuring the effective functioning of government through coordination and the efficient delivery of public services. This is fundamental to ensuring that policies, programs, and projects developed across the various ministries, departments, and agencies are implemented seamlessly and yield the desired outcome for our nation. In this regard, the launch of the TVET SADC Strategic Plan 2023 to 2027 is a significant milestone in our mission to revolutionize technical and vocational education and training in Kenya. This comprehensive plan, which outlines the vision, goals, and strategies for the next 5 years, is a roadmap that will guide the TVET sector in key areas such as curriculum development, assessment and certification, research and innovation, ICT integration, and industry linkages. As we move forward, let us remember that the success of this strategic plan relies on our collective efforts. It requires the active participation and support of all stakeholders, including government ministries, state departments, industry partners, educators, and students. Together, we can build a robust TVET system that not only meets the needs of our economy, but also empowers our youth and secures our nation's future. One of the strategic plan's core pillars is the emphasis on industry partnerships. We understand that the success of competency-based education and training curriculum is closely tied to our collaboration with the industry sector. Fostering strong relationships with industry stakeholders ensures that the programs in the curriculum are co-developed with the industry to remain relevant and responsive to employers' needs and also nurture entrepreneurship skills among the trainees. It is therefore imperative to align our efforts with the demands of the labor market to produce highly skilled graduates who are not only employable, but also capable of driving innovation and economic growth, ultimately contributing to the competitiveness of our industries. Ladies and gentlemen, I am also delighted to announce the release of the March-April 2024 assessment results. This assessment was diligently carried out from 11th March to 19th April 2024 across 131 TVET assessment centers. At level 3, 153 candidates were assessed in various courses, with 112, that is 73%, being male, and 41, or 27%, being female. The National Skills Certificate comprised 3 qualifications with 77 units of competency. At level 4, 2,179 candidates were assessed, with 1,169 being male, that is 54%, and 1,010 being female, that is 46%. The Artisan's Certificate comprised 32 qualifications with 32 units of competency. At level 5, 6,715 candidates were assessed, with 2,674 being female and 4,041, being male and 4,041 being female. The Craft Certificate comprised 53 qualifications with 660 units of competency. At level 6, 11,075 candidates were assessed, with 5,246, that is 47%, being male, and 5,829, 53%, being female. The diploma comprised 95 qualifications with 1,274 units of competency. I note with appreciation the affirmative action that has led to increased female trainee enrollment at levels 4 to 6. Overall, 20,122 candidates were assessed in 193 qualifications across all levels, with 333 units of competency. This figure represents a remarkable 181% increase from the November-December 2023 assessment. I want to commend the Office of the Principal Secretary, TVET, for this exponential growth of candidature and evidence of the successful implementation of the competency-based curriculum. Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk a little bit about reinstatement of TVET SADC in 2023 through a cabinet resolution can be attributed to these milestones we are celebrating today. The visionary leadership of the TVET SADC Governing Council over the past year has been instrumental in driving the reforms and initiatives that have elevated the standards of technical and vocational education and training in our country. From developing competency-based curricula to implementing assessment frameworks, your contributions have laid a strong foundation for the future, and for that, I commend you. As you look ahead, you must continue to build on these achievements and strive for even greater heights. I am confident that with your collective efforts, you can realize your vision of a world-class CBT system. Let us remain steadfast in our commitment to excellence, innovation, and inclusivity. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I sincerely thank all the TVET partners, stakeholders, and the entire TVET community for supporting TVET SADC. Together, we are shaping the future of our nation, one skilled graduate at a time. Let us work hand in hand to ensure that every Kenyan youth has access to quality technical and vocational education that empowers them to achieve their full potential. Lastly, as the Principal Secretary did indicate, I am aware that the TVET sector is marking 100 years of celebration. This is an opportune moment to take stock of key milestones that TVET has achieved for the last 100 years. It is an opportune moment for the TVET sector to make strong statements that indeed TVET works. Let us take this moment to call on the Kenyan youth and the entire country to embrace TVET, because it's TVET that is going to cause industrialization in Kenya. Let me, just before I conclude, let me emphasize 2 points. One, that before I came to the podium here, the last call I received was from the President of the Republic of Kenya. And when I told him why I was here, he was extremely excited, even in these challenging moments. Because he's a very, very passionate advocate of what you good men and women are doing for this country. So I want to assure you of his total support, maybe reassure you, not assure you, reassure you of his total support for what you're doing, because this is what you might call the fast lane to addressing the challenges of unemployment that is a big dilemma for the young people of this country. It is the fast lane, and therefore we heavily rely on you. I also want to commend the Principal Secretary. I don't have to tell you, I'm sure you can see it for yourself. She's a very passionate advocate of this cause. She speaks eloquently and very clearly and precisely when she's conveying a message. So it shows a lot of resolution, and I'm sure it cascades within her department so that we can all deliver on this very important agenda. With you for the young people who will be taking up opportunities outside our borders. We will work closely together because the opportunities keep coming up. Whereas Africa is experiencing a very high youth population, 70% of our young people, of our population, 1.4 billion, is primarily a young population. Other parts of the world are experiencing a crisis of an aging population. So the opportunities are very clear. The people we produce in our country. Competent, And the truth be told, the bulk of the diaspora that we have who work outside, one thing that has been also making Kenya stand out is that our young people out there have been primarily a very disciplined team in these various countries. Comparatively, without me mentioning, who would you prefer? They tend to tell you that we prefer the Kenyan people, to take up assignments in their spaces or in their countries. So, as we resolve the challenges we are facing today, I want to also send a message of appeal to our young people as they speak to us on other aspects of the economy and governance in the country. I also appeal to them that also do not undermine the credentials of a disciplined youth that emerges from Kenya. Let us not also undermine our own credentials. We have achieved something through our young people as being disciplined, focused. Let us also make sure that that specific strength or attribute is not undermined by our actions that do not reflect discipline as we go forward. It could have an impact on the great opportunities that we are providing both outside and even internally. We must not scare potential industrialists on the ability of our young people and the character of our young people. It is important that that remains a pivotal aspect of where we want to go. I can give examples. Right now, Germany, through their parliament, have said they have a gap of about 250,000 unskilled people. Skilled people. They want to recruit globally. Let Kenya provide maybe the bulk of that. And bilateral agreements are being negotiated. Labor agreements are being negotiated to that. We have other agreements within the European Union and others we are about to conclude another one with the United Arab Emirates, SEPA. And we are in motion with other Gulf states as well, anchoring a proper legal framework that will support our young people as they go into some of these places. There's a program that is also running as we speak, where the UK, for instance, has been coming in, and so far they have taken close to 2,000 young people in the agricultural sector in the United Kingdom. And they are now saying that this is a place. Only a few weeks ago, they were here again going through a recruitment process because there's good talent here. So you are laying the base and the foundation for a very strong engagement. But as we look outside, we must also not lose sight of the fact that at the end of the day, most of the jobs will be home-based. The bulk of the jobs will still be here in Kenya. And therefore, we must collectively work together so that industry can expand, agriculture can expand, the technological ICT space can expand, and other areas, so that the absorption, the great absorption, remains here. Because we also need those young men and women to work here, anchored by those who get opportunities outside. So we all have a challenge, and I can tell you that As we reform, as we put the corrective measures in place going forward, our key anchor must be peace and stability, so that that environment can be conducive for everybody to go about their activities. It is easy to take it for granted, but I can tell you there's no peace in Sudan today. They are scattered. 23 million people, or 25, are facing a serious humanitarian crisis and total hunger. 10 million have been displaced. In some of our neighboring countries, there are serious challenges. So let's not, as a community, as a society, take our peace and stability for granted. Let us take corrective measures, but let us not undermine the peace and stability. The countries that have suffered have taken up to 40 years to start showing signs of recovery. Somalia went into chaos. It is now they're beginning to show a little bit of recovery. 40 years. So if you're a young person today and your country does not recover in 40 years, if you are 18, or if you are 20, and your country is thrown into turmoil for the next 40 years, tell me where you will be. So it is important that we look at it more broadly, and we encourage our young people as we express ourselves that there must be a clear indication that peace and stability are critical. The Sahel region is in devastation. Some people don't go to school whatsoever. So who are we breeding in those countries when nobody goes to school? What kind of nationals is the continent creating in different parts? So I really want to appeal in this particular sitting that we do what is right. Those in leadership and in authority do what is right. Those who are in school and whatever do what is right, so that we handle with dignity and integrity the responsibilities we have at every stage in our human life calendar, so that we can be able to move forward in a more positive manner going forward. So I just thought I should share this very briefly, not just with you, but with the nation, because we have our members of the Fourth Estate here. It is important that some of these issues are also brought up. All you need to do, if you get a chance, is to sometimes to switch on Al Jazeera. Switch on Al Jazeera and see for yourself what is happening in Sudan. It is very, very disheartening and very sad. We may think it's a game, but just go and switch it on and see for yourself. It is not fashionable to have a crisis of that magnitude in your country. We have a country to protect. Let us work together. We have made mistakes along the way, and don't be cheated. For as long as you're a human being, once in a while you stumble. Our forefathers were there. They did what they did. You cannot say they never made mistakes. They did make mistakes, but they held on to the country. We are here today. We shall make our mistakes, all of us. But the country must not go down with our mistakes, because there'll be another generation to come and take over. These are the critical issues that I think we all need to really ponder over and reflect upon. And I can tell you, resuscitating an economy is not a joke. It's not a joke. It's not instant coffee. It takes time. And sometimes it can take a very, very long time. Sit back and imagine what it might take to reconstruct Gaza. We must reflect on some of those things. So as we move forward, what happens? We must also look at the young people you are training in the Tibets here. The truth be told, some of them are self-employed. They are making their beds. They are making furniture in certain aspects of our cities and our urban areas. Now, just imagine you as a TVET, you have done your graduate, you've done your best, you've taken time, you've designed your bed, or you've designed a piece of furniture, and come and damage it and ruin it. You have spent money, perhaps you have, it's on credit, financial institution or society. Those guys will not wait for you. They'll want their payment. But somebody somewhere has just come and damaged it. That's not right. Even if you are expressing yourselves, why are you impoverishing the young men and women who are the Tibet? Because the truth be told, at my age, Musalia Mudavadi, I am now old, I cannot learn that skill. I would be a very slow operator of the kind of skills that you're dealing with. So who are you undermining when you hit at those places? You're undermining the young people of this country. Not Musalia Mudavadi, the young people. So I thought that sometimes we should not shy away from speaking to some of these issues, but in a sober manner so that we all reflect on them. We take criticism as it comes, we learn from it, but always a moment of meditation, taking a step back and reflecting. How would you sleep if you know you have destroyed somebody's life savings, another young person's life savings? How do you sleep? Does it feel good? I don't know. But I think I would have nightmares if I know I have been destroying my sister's or my brother's business enterprise in Chavakali, or in Kakamega, or in Nyeri, or in Lunga, or in Isbania. So let's take a moment as a country and reflect on some of these issues. So ladies and gentlemen, it is now my opportunity to say that Tibet Act number 29 of 2013 and Executive Order number 1 of 2022, I officially release the March-April 2024 assessment results and declare the Tibet SADC Strategic Plan officially launched. God bless you, and thank you so much. Good. So what do we do next?